I have to try because even Oyibo can pronounce
yes,
native names.
just so, like I can say Tolet.
Tetolet.
Tetolet,
So Oputa as well. Okay, so how did Charlie Boy, area father, come about?
Well, I decided I was, my parents wanted me to do the normal thing everybody does.
Lawyer, engineer, doctor?
No, not that. But as soon as you finish school, go get a job, a 9 to 5. And I didn't think I had the discipline to do a 9 to 5. So I said, Daddy, I'm not doing a 9 to 5. And he said, what the hell do you want to do, son? And I said, I want to be a musician. And all hell broke loose.
And those years, I can imagine.
Yeah, because musicians were taught us and never do well, vagabonds, irresponsible people. And then coming from the kind of family I come from, that was unheard of,
What kind of a family? Rich family? Famous family?
I wouldn't say rich. But yes, famous.
Famous, okay.
Because my father was a Supreme Court judge, and he was known as a no-nonsense kind of person on the bench. Somebody who wouldn't compromise.
So you're bringing shame to the family.
Yeah,
like being a musician.
I was like the black sheep.
You go to hell if you do that.
Yeah. you know.
Yeah, I know those things because I was an artist as well, and the same reaction. And you can imagine now.
Your parents are looking at you. That girl is crazy.
She's crazy. Did you not pay your school fees? Did you not go to school? Did we waste money on that?
I know.
And they don't realize. But for you, I know you say 9 to 5, but I know a lot of parents, especially my Kenyan parents, it's like you're a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or a failure. So if you say you want to be, you're on the failure part of it. So it's either these three.
Not just only in Kenya. It's like that. It used to be like that in Nigeria back in the days.
So I think it's an African thing, but we really need to change that because
that's changing.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Let me just say that has changed. That is in Nigeria, I think.
Yeah. I think it's changing. I don't think it has so much in Kenya, but I think it's changing because there's I have a youth, and that's what she likes to do. And even though she was born here, but because the parents are Africans, and she's a performing artist, but she felt every time she met with African parents, they would say, "Oh, so what are you doing?" And then she would say, a performing arts. No. We know that's your career, but that's your passion. But what are you doing? I am actually doing. So she now got used to she wanted to lie. I said, don't lie. Just say what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Even people go to university performing arts. When people are stressed, depressed, you go to a counselor. They play for you music. So if you don't have musicians, who is going to do that? Do you understand? And music is therapeutical. So we know that. So I was like, just say what you're doing. If they want to look at you as an outcast, that's their own.
But I think that Charlie Boy broke that stereotyping. Because initially people, is he all right? What's wrong with him? Then they started to see what's up here. Then they started to hear that I have degrees. Then they started to say, oh, wait a minute, he's intelligent too. Okay.
Wow, so you can have degrees and still sing.
You understand?
So that is what we were missing. That we think.
And then, of course, whether you just want to be a comedian, whatever, and you are successful in whatever it is that you want to be.
Yes.
Once you're mega successful, everybody, you have different fathers, different friends, different
those who change their nappies.
Yeah.
Everybody's
because now you're successful.
Yes.
And you have some small money.
Yes.
So everybody wants to be your friend.
Yes. Like us here in the studio, we're your friend today because you're going to leave some money for us today. You have to leave some token for appreciation. Okay, now let's rewind. Charlie Boy, Charles Oputa, everything from the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in Nigeria, in a city called Pitakwa.
Pitakwa. Wow.
Another name for Port Harcourt.
Oh, I've heard of Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in the early 50s. It seemed that's before your time.
Oh, yes, long time.
And I come from a very close-knitted family, where there was a lot of love, a lot of warmth, and I grew up on an overdose of morality, honor, and integrity, And then at one point in my life, I wanted to be a priest because my father brainwashed me with too much religion. I actually, when I turned 15, I became an altar boy. By the time I was 17, 18, I wanted to, I did go to the seminary, but I didn't last long. Because you see, I wanted to be so many things, I also wanted to be a magician.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I wanted to be in the army, different things.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Army as well.
Yeah.
But magician and priest, they're like similar a little bit, don't you think?
Why would you say that?
Because I feel like sometimes being a priest, a lot of them, they bring they would
not those Pentecostal
priests,
brouhaha kind of pastors. Yeah. I'm talking about real Catholic priests.
Okay.
They don't do miracles. It's those Pentecostal people that always do miracles.
Slash magician.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, that's all a scam.
Yes, most of it. Some of them is real. Some of them are scam.
There is no real miracles. The only miracles that are existing today is the one you create for yourself. After you've walked, then God may bless you.
Because they say God blesses those who bless themselves. God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a miracle.
And prayer without work, what is it?
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
check the Bible.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So here we are. You want to be a priest. I know you were kicked out priesthood, was it? No, altar boy. You were actually kicked out.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I wanted to have. Yeah, wait a minute. That's an interesting one. I wanted to have all the powers the priest had. So I thought by going to the sacristy, to steal the wine and chop the communions, I would be powerful too.
And then they caught you out.
And you had to dig up that. Oh.
I had to dig out that. I had to dig. Come on, I can't have You were kicked out. I was like, what? A priest.
Yeah.
And then
no, that was when I was just an altar boy.
And then you go to.
When I went to the seminary to become a priest, I decided, okay, to be a magician is much better. Maybe if I had gone that way, did a little bit of priesthood, and I went to magic school, maybe I could have become an evangelist or this Pentecostal doing all this zazavu.
With the church of 10,000 people, 20,000.
Yes, and I'll be doing miracles. I'm making all the money.
Okay, so you got there, then by the time you're 20 years old, you go into occults, you started practicing some other things.
No, I didn't get into the occult, but I was fascinated by the occult. I transcended different religious ideologies. At one point in my life, I've been a Hare Krishna. At another point, I went into yoga seriously. At one point, I was a Buddhist. And of course, I was introduced to Buddha through my son. So, and because of just me curious, because my father would always say, interrogate and investigate everything. Don't believe in anything that you hear. Just interrogate, ask questions, and investigate. And of course, I was tired of being a Catholic, because that was what my father was, a Catholic. So it's like, you are born, you have no choice in the matter, you want to become a Catholic. No. I said, let me explore. I've been in the Rosicrucian order, AMOC. And yes, I've been generally fascinated by mythical things.
So you're just very inquisitive. You just wanted to find out what's... Wow, that's good. So now I know you were born in a family that was so much love and care. So how about your siblings?
My siblings?
Yeah. How many are you?
There were 4 of us.
Okay.
I had an elder sister, I had an elder brother, but they are late now. So it's just me and my junior brother.
Okay, okay. May their soul rest in perfect peace. And your parents as well. I know your parents, your mom and your dad passed on. But I know about your mom. She passed on at 101. And your dad 98. Wow.
We have longevity in our family. You know, that is why I look the way I look at. I don't know how old I am again.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say your age, maybe?
You can say it, but you're not my mom.
I just say what I think I know.
What you think you know.
I think it's 78 when I looked at it. That's what they said.
78?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's what they said when I looked. And then when I showed my daughter even your picture, I said, how do you think this guy is? She goes, late 40s, early 50s. I said, hi, Chineke Mao. I need to eat what he's eating. Okay. So I'm just saying what I think I know. But it's your mom who knows everything. And
and unfortunately, she's
not here to tell us the truth.
So I just go with whatever age anybody gives me.
Yeah. So now today I've given you 78, you go with that?
No, I won't go with that.
Okay, let's
because that will make some of my fans cringe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, like I did, actually. I did. But now I'm getting used to it because I see you right now. I'm like, in fact, later I'm going to ask you, what do you eat? Because I want to be like that. So tell us about your schooling.
What about my schooling?
Schooling. Where did you go to school?
I went to school. I went to nursery, primary, secondary, all in Nigeria.
Everything Nigeria.
Yes, then I went to America. I only spent only 5 years out of Nigeria. And I never really liked America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
that's where you met your... later.
Yeah, but because of the racism there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a victim of that.
Oh, really?
So it just made me become a racist first. Then I had to go to a doctor to cure my racism. And no, I had some bad experiences in America.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because
so I decided, no,
it's not for me.
Let me just come to my country and, make a living.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When it comes to racism, trust me, I've experienced some myself. So how did the name come along, Charlie Boy? How did it come along?
My mother always used to call me, my name is Charles, of course, and he used to say, Charlie Boy. That was when I was little. And she will only call me Charlie Boy when I'm naughty, when I get into trouble.
Okay.
So I decided to adopt that name.
Okay, this is Charlie Boy. Did you? How many times did I call you? How many times did I call you Charlie Boy? So you just took what Mommy used to call you, Charlie Boy.
Yes.
So you made that your stage name.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we are here. Charles, or Charlie Boy, meets his wife over 40 years now, and I know you met in America in a salon where you went to do your hair. And
you have been reading them. Go on.
But that was after, because you are not very keen in marriage, and that was after 3 failed marriages. Yeah. So how did you manage to make this work more than 40 years after 3 failed marriages? What was so different or unique with this one?
What are you doing? What kind of question is that?
I'm asking because I would like to know.
Experience is the best teacher now. As I've
but
done 1, 2, 3, but I will have experience now. Now.
So even me, my second one probably will work because my first one failed.
So as you marry, you get better. So I think that was.
So
that's what happened.
so even
I
this
just
one
got
is,
better.
even my one is not enough. Maybe the third one.
Well, maybe you marry another one, get experience, and then marry the third one. The third one might work.
So what did you learn from the first, second, and third that you didn't want to repeat again on your fourth one?
No, the first, second, and third, they were all, I think I was just a juvenile delinquent.
Okay, you were young.
I was irresponsible. I was, I wasn't matured enough. I wasn't ready for marriage. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Okay. So by the time this one came, and she proposed, damn, she's
brave.
I wish I can be brave like that.
Yeah, because I was, I actually didn't want to get married again. Because I didn't think I was a marrying type. My philandering was just too much. I just wanted to be free and wild, and So when my friend woke up one morning and said, "Marry me or else I go," and I was like, "Okay, let me just gamble this." So the gamble paid off.
Wow. Did you ever think there's going to be this long?
No.
No.
No,
when I read that story is really inspiring. When I read that story, because sometimes we as ladies, and imagine how many years was that she even had the guts to say, "Marry me," because
it's about 42 years ago.
Can you imagine? Because even now they say, "Oh, when you meet a man and you're a woman," some women are scared to go and say, "I like you." They cannot even approach a man. And I think I've made those mistakes. So after I read your story, I was like, you know what? When I see somebody that I like them, I'll just approach them. The worst thing they can say,
"Are you free tonight?"
"Are you free tonight?"
My place or your place? Let's get down. Let's get straight to it. No bullshitting.
Okay, I think... Okay, I'll take that advice. Over 40 years of marriage, I'm sure you have more experience. Now, coming to your children now. I know you had 6 previous children before your marriage.
Damn, you know too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't dig too much, right?
It doesn't matter. My life, I've lived my life in the nude.
Yeah.
I've been naked. I can't tell a lie. I'm incapable of lying about anything. And because I have so much confidence in my persona, who I am, and who Charlie Boy is, I know sent. Think whatever you may about me. I know who I am already. So it's that confidence that makes me tell it like it is. So yes, I have 10 children, and I have 16 grandchildren.
Wow.
So I can start a village. Yes.
So I can see you have tattoos and all this. Does anything have significance? A story behind it?
Yeah, everything always have a story. I wish I can pull up my,
No,
the name.
leave that one.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it because I can't. I don't want them to. Other people have 6-pack, and I have 1 carton.
1 carton. So you don't put the 1 carton?
No, I'm working to see if I can get maybe 2 packs. I don't need 6.
We'll help you. We'll take you to the gym.
Yeah.
By the time you go back, you have at least 2-pack.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
And I told you on my way here that I'm just normal today, because I was trying to know exactly how you wanted me to appear. But because I don't have my chariot, you see. Yes, I don't have my metal chariot, and there are a lot of things I didn't come with. So I decided to come here gentle and nimble.
I like that. But I still wanted to know all these things. And
like here.
What does that say?
The names of some of my children.
Okay. Oh, those are the names of your children.
Yeah.
I know. There's Chat, Janet, Mark, Dewey.
Yeah.
Tony, Mimi, Ada.
Yeah.
Lee.
Sly. Yeah.
Wow. So where are the other ones? Because you have.
There are ones that I'm not too happy with, so their names are not here for now.
Oh, you're kidding?
No, I'm not.
So when you're happy with them?
Yeah. When they come when they do what they're supposed to do, then maybe I add them. Then this is just for luck.
Or a symbol of luck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this is a black panther.
Mm-hmm.
And up here is like the Malayan lucky something. Mm-hmm. And then here I have my wife's name.
Wow.
And then the face of a panther.
Wow.
I like, I believe that in my former life I was a cat.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so
you know what they say. Yeah, what they say about cats and their
they
nine,
have 7 lives. Yeah.
nine
lives.
9 lives.
Okay.
And I believe that I should have died long time ago, but it was my wit that kept me going. Because I've encountered so much in this my short life, and I made a lot of horrible mistakes in this my short life.
Yes, yes.
And I think I'm only still around by God's blessing, and because I have a purpose to fulfill on earth. Yeah.
Exactly. So coming to your mom again, I know there is a quote you say that your mom was a good witch. How is that? What was that?
Well, my definition of a witch, okay, it's not the African definition of witches. You know, those things that suck blood, that fly and turn into... No. My definition of a witch is somebody who is futuristic, somebody who can see the future.
Okay.
And my mom did see my future. Because when my father would keep backing at me, you're throwing your life away, you're throwing your life away. Never in my presence, but my mom will go back when they're in the room and they're discussing as husband and wife, and they say, take it easy on that guy, because that is our lucky charm. And I'm like, how would lucky charm, how? I didn't understand.
Wow. But I think, and now, also, I know you said, and that's why, I know you said you and your children as well, you have a very good relationship, at least most children, you have a good relationship with your wife as well. That's why you've been married for such a long time. And you say the reason why is because Charlie is a home, Charles, it's a home, and Charlie Boy is on stage. So how do you actually manage to separate these two characters? Because it's never easy, and that's where we see a lot of people in entertainment, their marriages mostly don't last because they take the stage, they take it home, they take home to the stage, and everything is mixed up. But you have actually managed to separate the two. So how easy or how hard is it to separate those two?
You're a very good interviewer.
Thank you.
It's quite easy. I've mastered, there are like 4 people living in this house. Not just Mr. Oputa and Charlie Boy. There's another person that lives here, and her name is Linda. Okay? Then there's the Odudu Bariba. And that's who I identify as my spiritual warrior. So there are 4 personalities here. And somehow, don't ask me how, somehow I've managed to play all these characters, most of the time sleeping. Because for every situation, every happenstance, the right character that should be there jumps out. I don't know how it happens, but it jumps out. And then, and maybe if I tell you this, you're going to be surprised or not surprised, I don't know. Actually, I'm an introvert.
Oh, really?
I'm an anti-social kind of person. Okay? I don't do well with crowds. I can sleep all day. I can stay in my house, lock myself away from the wicked world, and I wouldn't feel like I'm missing anything because I love my company. Yeah? But I can be moody this very minute, and as soon as I step out that door, somebody else takes over. Usually it's Charlie Boy. Because Charlie Boy is that person that we all love, and everybody wants to be Charlie Boy. Why do I say that? Everybody wants to have that kind of audacity that Charlie Boy has. That kind of, Charlie Boy is gregarious, okay? It's like he doesn't care a damn thing in the face of this world, okay? He can do anything. So Charlie Boy is like a superhero. Charlie Boy doesn't really exist. Yeah, it's just a character I put together to shock timid, myopic, Mongo-packish, analogish Nigerians out of their mindset, their way of thinking, because my people are so bloody conservative, it's a shame.
So can we say that you have a multiple personalities?
You can say that, but I'm not schizophrenic.
So I know you've said Odudubareba is a spiritual warrior.
No, say it. Okay, say it like you mean it.
Odudubareba. No?
You're close.
Odudubare. What?
Odudubareba.
Odudubareba. So Odudubareba is a spiritual warrior. What about Linda?
Linda is that female side of Mr. Puta. That side that is sensitive, that's emotional. Linda cries when there are things that make her cry. Linda is quite emotional about a whole lot of stuff. And that is why, Linda don't want to see poverty. It upsets her, like that. And Linda can throw on the lipstick, put on the wig, and you won't even know that she is related to Charlie Boy or Charles Puta.
So when when your wife was sick and when your mom was sick and your wife called you and you said that you're going to cry if you feel like crying. So was that Linda talking or Charles talking? Or Charles talking?
Of course, Linda.
Linda?
Of course, Linda.
Okay. Do you find
Linda, I won't call her a crybaby, but I would say that she does well, there's no hold back about emotions. That's who she is.
Do you find sometimes you're struggling? Linda wants to come up, but no, it's
I never struggle with this personality.
Okay.
Like I said, it's like a switch. In each situation, whoever comes, the right person comes. Yeah.
Okay, and that's why you've managed to separate it from home and stage.
Precisely.
Because when you go home, straight away it's Charles.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah.
I like that. So in one of your interviews as well, you describe challenges that you go through are self-inflicted. You said a lot of challenges that you've gone through are actually self-inflicted. Why do you think that?
Now, well, this your research is spot on.
Yes,
it's self-inflicted. See, I'm a spoiled brat, yeah? And I'm a prince, okay? I come from a very rich heritage. My pedigree is knock on wood. I'm not flaunting it like that. You ask me a question and I'm about to answer, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm like that prince that they gave all the silver spoon, golden bed, and say, go lay on it, roll and, feel happy with yourself. Now, the silly prince left that golden spoon and that golden bed and went into the bush because the prince just wanted to see how animals live in the bush. And got into the bush and got stuck in the bush. They didn't want to come back again.
Yes.
So I know that sometime for my parents it was like confusing. What are you doing with all these kind of people? And even when I was young, my parents would always you know how controlling parents can get.
Yes.
So they would always say, we don't like you going out with that person or this person. They wanted me to go out with, children of their friends who I found uppity, nose up in the air. I didn't like those kind of people. I wanted to make friends with the driver's
common,
kids.
In Kenya, we say common.
I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know why I loved those people more than the people my parents wanted me to associate with. You know, and there was one incident that happened while I was little. I had a room filled with toys. We had toys, you know. My father at that point was the best attorney, you know, money can buy in those days. So, yeah, we had it like that. Then till I went to our driver's house to find out that 3 people were sleeping in a room. And these kids had no toys. That was when my toys started to disappear. Because I was a very playful kid. So I was bribing people. I was a very lonely child. So I was bribing people to, you know, make their friendship, you know, come and go play with me. So I was always giving my toys away. So a lot of children can come and play with me.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I was starting something that was to be my signature for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because you're also a philanthropist. So is that where that started?
I don't know about being a philanthropist, but you know, yes, I've seen people, met people at the crossroads of their life, and you know, I wanted to reach out, help them, so on and so forth. Yeah.
So at that point, would you say you're a prodigal son? When you went to the bush, leaving all these things, the prince and...
Yeah, you can say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't even mind you saying that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And I also, so that as a parent, I know this...
Wait a minute, don't you guys have AC here? I'm so damn
so
hot.
hot?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask.
This is not... Why you're asking? You should know now. You don't have AC.
Because I'm always cold.
You're always in the heat.
Yeah, I'm always cold.
Don't forget, I'm coming from hell. So
Africa.
I know, yeah, I know what hell feels like.
Yeah, hell of heat.
See, you got it.
I'm coming from Kenya as well.
No, but you've been here. You used to the winter and all the thing, you know.
No, that's a good one. So
no, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. It's just that, you know, me wiping my face. I know your editor is a very sharp, smart guy, so he's going to cover all of that with a picture, aren't you?
We have smart people. Here. So, I'm so sorry about that, sir. Next time.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, don't worry. We just, you know, we're getting things slowly in place. But as a parent, I know there was a conflict between you and your daughter, after which you set up a hotline for young people.
This girl. Oh. Okay, go on. Yeah, finish your question.
So you set a hotline challenge for the young people who have challenges communicating with their parents. Because was there a lack of communication between you and your daughter, or she just felt like you used what she was going through to gain traffic? Because those were her words.
Okay. My daughter is a lesbian.
Yes.
And I'm proud of her any day, any time.
Yes.
Yeah? When she told me she had come out of the closet, thank God I was laying on my bed. And she goes, "Daddy, I want to say something to you." I said, "Okay, sure. You know, you can tell me anything." And she says, "Promise you're not going to get mad." I said, "No." Because the particular person in question, that my daughter, I love all of them so much, but that one, you know, it's not like I have favorite or anything like that, but that's the one that really took after me. Yeah? So here I was trying to be a cool dad. Bring it on, anything, I can handle it. And then she says, "I'm coming out of the closet. This is who I am." I was shocked. I was like, first of all, did I do anything wrong? But, you know, was there something I missed? Why am I just knowing this? You know? And I tried to be cool because I bond so very well with my children, you know, and I don't want to do anything that will create a gap, a distance between me and them, you know. So I had to swallow whatever and play the cool dad. Then, of course, the next day I asked myself, why am I feeling so bad about this? After all, I've done a lot of advocacy work for the transgender, lesbians, homosexuals, you know, because I say they are people too, so they have rights. You understand? Yeah. And I felt that how I was feeling about my daughter was very hypocritical of me. If I fought for that community, the LGBTQ community, so now my daughter is one of them. So why am I acting like that, you know? So I learned to accept it. Now, I was trying to use that example to say to parents, listen, you can tell your daughter, give her all the advice in the world, because the time, the 60% time your children spend is spent with their friends in school. You are never there, so you never know the kind of habits and, you know, whatever they pick up. So if you're close to the kids, the only way is to be close to the kids, get the trust of your kids, you know, well enough that they automatically come to tell you things, just like she told me things, yeah? But she took that out of context. It was like, no, Daddy, you're not supposed to tell my story. I'm the one who ought to tell my story. And then we were having minor conflicts here and there on how I want her to do things and how, you know, and she was coming from a relationship that almost ruined her. She didn't tell me about that. So, because if I knew about that, I would have been more sensitive in how I'm dealing with her. And because I didn't know, and then she was wrong not to, because me and my children, we share almost everything. They know everything I'm doing. I'm in their life full time. So because that didn't happen, so she was just pissed off. You know, when children are pissed off with you, they will now tell all the lies. They will now say, hey, you don't care for me, how I threw her out. But, you know, that wasn't. She wanted to hurt me back because she felt hurt that I was the one telling her story and not her.
Exactly.
You know, so, but we've made up, we've kissed and made up, and she's still, she's still my Charlie girl.
So, in regards to that, I know because I have children as well, and I'm very close to my children. In fact, all of us were very close because we're just girls. We're just 4 girls in the house.
Oh, wow,
yeah. Their dad is not there. Their dad went to the park and he forgot the house. So he's still in the park. He's still looking for the house. He forgot where the house
That's a good one.
So he's still looking. So me and my girls, and we're very close because I'm into performing arts. And since they were little, every time I went, I always took them with me. So they're like my purse. So, you know. And what they said to me one day is, why do you parents always make things about you? And then I say, what do you mean? The first thing they tell us something, we start thinking of how we are feeling. How about how they're feeling? Yeah, when they told me that, I was like, okay, because I know I do that a lot. Because when you finish, you're like, why do you do that to mom? Hey, what do you mean, why do I do that to mom? What about how I, as your child, feel? Have you even asked me? Have you thought of what I go through? So, and I do a lot of parenting talks, and I always tell parents that me too have learned through experience, because my first daughter is 23 years old, and when she's with her friends, they talk to me, and because we call them the Queen's children, it's a different culture from our culture and their culture. So for us to even merge those two cultures, as African culture and this culture, and put it together, how do you bring your children? It's so And because I'm used to how I was
It's
brought up.
challenging.
Yeah,
It's
I was brought up, if
challenging.
you do something, your mom will tell you, why did you do this? Do you think your mom did it? Your mom's name is there. I never thought she's making it about herself. So I took that, brought it to my children, and the same thing. So I think a lot of parents, we make that mistake a lot of when our children tell us something. First of all, we think of, how am I feeling about that? What about how they're feeling? Yeah.
You see, I'll just add to what you just said. You know, nobody was born a parent.
Exactly.
You understand? So as you go, you make it up. But if you have that overwhelming desire to be your children's best friend, then you have something good going for you. Because if that's your mindset, that's how you're going to mold your parenting. And once you can get their trust as a friend, it makes everything easy.
Yeah. So in regards to that particular issue, and in regards to how when you set up a hotline, you say there's a lot of people who called you. There's a lot and a lot of people.
Thousands. I had to throw away the thing because I couldn't cope again.
It was too much.
Because everybody was like, I have that problem. I have this problem. My God. And you know, I was just the only one taking those phone calls. And sometimes...
You didn't prepare for that?
No, I've done that I did that. I've gotten into all kinds of counseling, marriage counseling, you know, people. You know, I woke up one day and discovered that I'm the symbol, my wife and I, that is, that will become the model of a good marriage. And I'm like, Jesus, me. Because I don't hear win for the marriage. Because I know that marriage is a lot of, permit my word, bullshit. Okay? And that doesn't, I'm not suggesting that marriage is all that bad, but you need to be ready for it. You need to have, for your marriage to have some semblance of, okay, it's not too bad. There need to be mutual respect. There need to be extraordinary communication between, you know, they need to, you know, couples need to give each other space, you know, every now and again. And because it's a lot of work, you see.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't, you can't just leave it and it will become, you know. And me and my wife, we've gone through so many, it's unbelievable what we've gone through.
Walls of Jericho.
That is, but we both have decided, okay, we'll all die here. Forget it. Not because I'm living in a la-la land. Not because people think it's about love. What love got to do with it?
So that song was really,
you know, because even sometimes the love diminishes. Even the physical and sexual attraction, it dies. I'm telling you. So they have to be something meaningful, like friendship, some kind of bonding that keeps it together for that long. Because your wife cannot look attractive, especially for men who are polygamous in their nature. That your wife will be attractive as he did the first day till, no, it's not possible.
20 years later.
It's not possible. So there has to be something that is more important than the sex, how she's looking. Because one time now the man will get pot belly, Abi. The wife breast can, if the breast was standing, it could start sagging. If she had a small portable ass, it could be like that, and he say, no, this is cheating. Where is this coming from? This wasn't what we bargained for, you know, and so on and so forth. So there has to be, you know, the real thing. And what is that real thing? Truthful, sincere friendship.
So in regards to what you just talk about right now, from the children to marriage and everything, what advice would you give parents? Just what advice would you give parents in regards to parenting?
About
what advice would you give parents in regards to parenting after what you've gone through as a parent?
See, if you notice like your kid, they like football, you don't start to beat them and say, no, don't play football again. You don't even know whether that's their destiny. But on one hand, as you're encouraging them, you're saying, don't forget the book. Don't forget these other things. You know, so if it's looking like they're not forgetting the book, you know, reward them a little bit, and then you can say, yeah, okay, go play football. You know, that means, oh, you support what they're doing. Yeah. You know, it's very important, because parents should not set up themselves for a heartbreak. By that I mean, because parents, out of love, concern, or the life that they've lived before, you know, they are always in a habit. Yeah, you love your children naturally, you know, you want them to do good, you know. So it's that overbearingness with, you know, kids that turns kids off. So support them in whatever you think the direction they are going. Except it's so negative. Yes. Then you can advise against that. But if it's nothing that will really harm or hurt them, support them while you encourage them in other areas, so they're a well-rounded person and they start having confidence in themselves. Because that's how I turned out the way. My parents never really say, oh, go this way or go that way, you know. They were just whipping my ass because I was just a naughty kid, you know. But it wasn't like they said, no, you must do this or you must do that. No, I didn't come from that background.
Yeah. What about, on the same breath, you have advice that you've given parents, what about young people? What advice can you give the young people?
The advice I'll give to young people is to know that your parents don't hate you. They love you. In fact, it's that too much love that is making them go mental or feel like, oh no, I don't want you to miss the track, you know, I want you to turn out a good kid, you know. And sometimes they can overdo it.
Yes.
I remember one conversation I had with my father before he died. I swear to God, one day we were just chatting in my sitting room. My father was sipping his little stout, and I was smoking my bloody ganja, yeah? And then my father looked at me, this weird eyeballing, and then he goes, listen, I'm really sorry for all those negative things. I said, well, when you were, you know, I had no idea you were going to turn out like this. And then he goes, anyway, parents are not God.
Wow.
Parents are not God, so they should not play God.
Wow.
Because you never know what the destiny of the child will pan out to. And then that may be the child that will save the family or whatever.
Bring them out.
And that's why I call my mom a witch. Because say, oh, let's take it easy with this one. I might just be the one to, you know.
Wow, that's powerful. Parents are not God. So I know there's somewhere you say that you and your wife, you have something, a secret for you and your wife to stay young. You're saying that you have something that, you know, for you guys to stay young. So what is it, so that we can stay young as well? Or it won't be a secret if you say it?
Yes, no. If I tell you, it's no longer a secret. So I'll keep the secret.
Yeah. Can you really tell me off the camera? So
yeah, I will tell you off the camera, right?
Okay. So now we see Charlie Boy, a musician, and then we see another Charlie Boy, an activist. How does those two relate? As an activist?
Because you remember in the beginning of the interview, I told you that my father always used to say things like, when you see injustice, fight it. Fight it, or before it chops your head off. I'll never forget that famous quote by my father.
When you see justice, fight it.
Injustice.
Injustice.
Yeah. And
because your dad was a judge as well, and he fought injustice.
No, before he even became a judge, as a lawyer, he was saying those words as a lawyer. you know. So he's a lawman, you know. So and he stands for justice and equity and fairness, you know.
Wow. So what else are you, Charles? Let me say Charles. Apart from
Many things and a bag of potato chips.
wow, wow. Okay.
I'm even many things that I don't even know I am. So, you know, I'm like an onion, so I keep peeling myself. And I keep discovering, I didn't know that this has always been here. You know, but, you know, one thing I've never done is to allow all of this to get into my head. And that's why I stay gentle, nimble, and humble.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So I know in your lineage, like you said, you have you have long years. Like your dad was 98,
longevity,
your mom was,
yeah.
And your grandma was 100, right?
My grandfather, my father's side, was I think 110.
You're kidding?
No, not.
Wow.
Then
110.
my grandmother on my mother's side was I think 105. So we have longevity in our family.
Okay.
That's so. I always say I come from a good stock. Yeah.
Wow. Look at how you look. We don't need
I come
anything.
from a good stock, but
yes.
that's not all the story. I mean, 50% has to be your genes, which is cool. The other must be your lifestyle. Your lifestyle has to also be cool. And you can make your lifestyle cool by watching what you eat properly, exercise regularly, you know, be around happy-go-lucky people, you understand? People who are exuding a lot of positivity, you know. Don't hang around people that diminishes you.
That's right.
You know, so if you add a good lifestyle to it, you know, whether you're from a good stock or not, and you are health conscious, that you're always checking up on yourself, you know, making sure that, especially once you cross 50, you're checking up on yourself to make sure that things are where they're supposed to be, everything is working out normal, you know. That's a good habit.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So I just want to ask this. So what is your plan in the next 5 years? What is your plan? What are you planning from now to 5 years from now? What are you planning?
Life is for the living, and I plan to do as much as I can, all the things that I couldn't do in the last 69 years. You know, like traveling, like being more happy, like laughing a lot from my guts, and then looking for young, exceptional people who can always bring the ginger for me, so I don't start to feel like I'm aging. You understand?
When you say look for young people to bring you, what do you mean?
The ginger to encourage me, inspire me, you know, and motivate me some more.
Yes. Okay. What do you like doing at your spare time?
Sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I call myself a professional sleeper. Have you ever heard that in your life?
No, I've never had that. I think that
I love to sleep. Oh my God.
Professional sleeper.
Yes, I love to. I've been thinking about entering the Guinness Book of Record for the person who slept the longest. You know?
Not that you have sleep apnea, because there's that.
No.
It's just
I don't have any of those. I just enjoy my sleep. And when sometimes when I'm depressed, when I'm upset, when I don't think things are working, you know, my antidote for that, apart from a good weed, is sleep.
A good weed. But you don't smoke cigarette, you smoke weed.
I'm having a battle. No, I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't, you know. But I have a problem with nicotine. Cigarettes.
Okay, yeah.
because I'm always back and forth. You know, I quit today, maybe after 1 year, 2 years, I go back. And,
Oh, really?
You know, it's bothering me because that's just the only thing I do that I don't like myself for.
Uh-huh. So you're really struggling. So what do you think you can do better to make it just don't do it ever?
I gave myself we're always looking for an excuse to do wrong.
Yes, yes, it's true.
So I give myself this excuse that I'm on vacation. Hey, come on, Charlie, you're on vacation. Just express yourself. When you go back to hellfire, you don't need to smoke because there's fires everywhere.
So are you smoking now that you're on holiday? You're not saying?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, hellfire is waiting for you then.
No, when I get back to hellfire, I don't need to light
don't
a
need
cigarette
to.
because there's smoke all around me.
And you just switch like that?
Oh yeah, I mean if I can switch with the personality, so why can't I switch with that?
Wow.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's strange. And okay, now this is Charlie Boy, or this is Charles. Now I want you to talking to 25-year-old Charlie Boy. What would you say?
Depends on what the problem is.
Sitting here.
What the problem is. The one thing I always say for whether you're 25 or 30, be your authentic self. And I show people how to be their authentic self. And I believe that because of how I've lived my life, I've given millions of Nigerians a reason not to ever let go of their dreams.
Yes.
Because when I had my dreams, people said it was crazy. My parents didn't believe me. Nobody, Nigerians didn't believe me. Okay, I thought, no, this dream cannot work here.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that I've proven that no young person who is aspiring to be the best of the best must let, whether it's your parent, your uncle, your sister, whoever, kill your dreams for you. Nobody has that right. And you must not give anybody that right.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people wonder, where would we be? What would we do without our parents? You find a way.
Yes.
That's what I say. When I rejected everything my parents wanted to do for me, and I went my own way, I disowned my parents for starters, and I went my own way. Yeah, from time to time, I'll hear the words of my father, you know, you go law school, you go law school. This is not going to amount to anything. You're not, you know, this environment is not right for what, this kind of weirdness. Then I'll shake it off and I'll say, no, let me keep doing what I know how to do.
Yes.
And I know how to shock and awe people. I say if I shock them enough, they'll pay attention. And when they pay attention, that's when I start to show them that I do have a brain. And a very peculiar one for that matter.
Yeah, very peculiar brain. Wow. So back into your child, looking back into your childhood until now. So what have you learned? What lessons have you learned until now?
I've learned to be stubborn about where I'm going to, what I want out of life.
Yeah. So you've learned how to be stubborn. Any regrets?
No, I'll do it over again.
Okay, no regrets. Great. So as a man of high standard, respected and loved by many, of course, we always have haters.
You love
as well.
me too.
I love you, of course. I love you too. That's why I have you in my studio.
Why you love me?
Because when I was reading about you, I saw a lot of things that relate to my own personal life. So I saw a lot of things and I was like, I like this guy. This is my kind of guy, you know. And also, as you relate with your children, everything about you, how you relate with your children, I saw so much similarities between me and you. And also your journey through when you're going through the journey, and you wanted to be so many things, and nobody believed this, and you know you had to be stubborn because I was a very rebellious child. You know what? Let me tell you, I was so rebellious that when I had my children, I had to go on my knee, and I'm not joking. I had to go on my knee and pray to God please don't let my children be anything like I was. And I also said, and they say the tongue has the power of life and death. But I think God just did not hear that prayer. I used to say I don't want children. Because when I was young, I was so rebellious and I was thinking, how can I deal with me that is my child? I knew what I was doing, but I was still rebellious because my parents were so strict. And I was thinking, why are you so strict like this? You're even poor in the first place. It's not like you're rich. I was brought up in a very poor family. So I'm thinking, you're poor. My dad is always beating my mom because my dad was a very violent man. So you're beating my mom, we're poor, and you want to restrict me like this? So I was the worst child in our family of 7. I was the horrible one. So when I had children, I prayed to God and I said, I don't want my children to be like me. And I've learned a lot. And there's so many regrets in my life though. And so when I was looking at your story, because I read a lot about you. When I was reading, I was like, I like this guy. So I do like you. Okay? And like I was saying, in our walk, if you're in the eye of the public, you will have people who love you and you'll have people who hate you. Even Jesus himself, with all the miracles he did, he still had people who hated him until they put him on the cross. So that's just how life is. So now, you, with a man of high standard, respected, loved, what advice would you give to men as a man?
They don't make men like they used to anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because the odds are against men now. Okay? Globally, not just in Africa.
Yeah.
It takes longer for a man to get a good job. A woman gets a better job quicker than a man. We were raised to, you should not cry. You should be the man,
Yes.
That is so much bloody pressure on the man.
Yes.
Okay? And now the women are coming out. Okay?
Yeah.
They're learning to be independent, not as subservient as they used to be. Yes, sir. No, sir. They're not playing that shit anymore. Okay? So it's putting more pressure on the man. Because it's looking like the women are now wearing pants. And the men have to wear skirts. So that is that is a big one for the men to swallow. Some men, not all men.
Yes.
Okay? Because I prefer a stronger woman by my side.
Yes.
That will also add to my strength. So I don't care a woman being strong as long as their head is in the right place.
Yes.
Not you start to think that you're all of that. You understand? So men are growing weaker and the women are growing stronger.
Yes.
And this is what I see all over globally. Okay? So it's also making men to, most of them, to give up, throwing the towel, which is kind of sad.
Yes, yes.
And because the women are no longer satisfied with where they used to be decades ago. They don't want to be in the kitchen.
Yes.
They don't want to be in the other room. They want to be out there in front.
Yes.
And if possible, before the man, in front. And the men are like, that ain't right.
So they're not used to the girl child coming out of the closet now. Because the girl child is now coming out.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you've just said about the men, I feel like there's more right now in this society that we're living in, and it's globally, there's more interest on a girl child, and we've forgotten the boy child.
Oh yeah.
And there's
because
on the girl child.
Because
everybody, every event I go to now, sorry to cut you, but every event I go to, I see women saying, oh, we're working with girl child. And I'm thinking, okay, so who is now working with boy child? Because if you work with girl child and empower the girl child so much and leave the boy child will still come and destroy what you worked so hard to empower. So I think us as humans, we should start having a balance of boy child and girl child. But I think boy child has been neglected.
I think so too. And you're damn right. And all of this is what's adding pressure to men, you know. Because I know many families where women run the show. They're the head of the family. And they manage it better than some men. You understand? So the tides are changing. Things are not like they used to be before. So what I would tell them, men, shape up or shape out.
Shape up or shape out. Wow, shape up or shape out. Wow, that's a nice one. Okay, so I just want to say thank you so much for everybody again.
I was wondering when this was going to end, even though I was having a good time.
I'm having a good time. What do you mean when it's going to end? Don't you like me?
Because no, I love you just like you love me. It takes one to know one, you know. But okay, you offered me coffee and I'm appreciative. But I came here hungry.
Don't worry.
I didn't. I'm like, is she going to finish talking to me?
Take you to eat something.
Put me in the taxi and I go. What's she going to feed me?
Don't worry.
So
I understand. So as we come to a closer now, I just want to, do you have any last words you want to say? Something that maybe I didn't ask that I shouldn't have?
No, you asked the right question and I'm kind of happy. You're intelligent like that. And I like the fact that you did your homework before you even started to open your mouth to talk to me, which is very important. A lot of people, just once they have those rumors and the gossip, they think that they have the whole angle, so you didn't do that. You did your homework. And all I can say to the viewers out there is everybody's going through something. We're all going through something. As I sit here and talk to you, I am bloody going through something, okay? But we need to believe that tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow is an opportunity to make our today much better than our yesterday. So all I can do is wish you peace and love.
Thank you very much. Thank you all our viewers for tuning in today. We really, really appreciate you. We don't take your time for granted. And if you have any questions, guys, you can still ask your questions and we'll be happy to respond to you. So until then, I'll see you again next week on Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. UK time and 8 p.m. Kenyan time, because I'm Kenyan, so I always go to Kenyan time as well. And wherever you are, you can always check the time zone, because time is different. So until then, like I always say, it can only be God. Love you guys.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.